Eggleston can't do the fielding at deep extra cover. And that's 4 to Lara. 105 for 1. Brian Lara, 19 not out. Looking at that particular banner, he doesn't necessarily have all of his fans with him here. That'll speed away for 4. Good effort by Eggleston, but he can't get there. Pulled away. 4 runs. Well, Lewis tested him earlier in the over and he missed it. That time he got it right.
Well, that's beautifully played. He's found the gap, and that's his half century. Desmond Haynes raises his bat. He's had many of them during his career, and Desmond Haynes moves on to 50.
This has been another very confident display from Desmond Haynes. He's picked the gaps where possible. Played very steadily indeed. A lovely way to bring up the 50. Timing that ball away, picking the gap at mid-wicket.
There are 5 overs remaining for the second day's play. And the West Indies, well, perhaps at the end of the day will be, if they don't lose another wicket, just a little bit in front. Down behind square, typical Lara stroke, will beat the fielder for 4. Well, he's banged that away. That was a bad ball. Got the treatment. So 2 4s in the over. This crowd now is warming to Brian Lara. Such an exciting player.
Yes, Brian Lara really had so much time at his disposal to play this shot. Even managing to drag it from wide of off stump. And it travelled like a rocket out to deep mid-wicket.
Just a little flick of the wrists and will go away for 4. That boundary up there is short. And helping the leg break coming into him with that flick of the wrist for a boundary.
Brian Lara just waited for that ball to come onto him. And really, just at the last moment there, applied the finishing touches. Used what pace there was in the ball already, and just directed it perfectly down towards fine leg.
He's got 47. And the crowd here anticipating his 50. And that'll be it. Misfielded. Brian Lara gets the 50. With that drive off the back foot. And this crowd is absolutely in a frenzy.
Well, misfield or no misfield, Brian Lara really deserving this half century. He brings it up with a typical shot through the offside.
That is beautifully placed. Magnificently played and magnificently saved. Brilliant work by the same Graham Hick. Well, that was magnificent cricket all round.
Well, absolutely magnificent examples of both batting and fielding. Brian Lara, a nicely timed shot into the gap at mid-wicket. Beautifully played, a flick of the wrists. And for a while it seemed that Graham Hick was going to have just too much to do to make ground to it. It's that same gap again. Angus Fraser misses the dive. Graham Hick won't be able to cut that one off. And Brian Lara continuing on his merry way.
So at the close of day 2, the West Indies 152 for 1, with Haynes and Lara both past 50, and now only 170 behind England. Well, Bob, that little session showed once and for all that the wicket had very few of the terrors that England had perceived they'd seen when they'd batted.
Yeah, the only encouraging thing really was the way that Chris Lewis bowled with the new ball. You know, they brought out the bowling coach Jeff Arnold, and with Devon Malcolm back in the UK, they wanted him to run in with a new ball, which he did pretty well. The rest of the bowling was very indifferent.
There was perhaps an encouraging start to Ian Salisbury's spell when he was bowling to Richie Richardson, and Richardson was trying to hit him through the covers and not getting him through.
Yeah, but there's still at least one bad ball and over from Salisbury, and you get the feeling that you know, if Malcolm returns to the fray, you couldn't play Malcolm and Salisbury in the side, because they're both going to be conceding 5 or 6 runs and over.
The big mystery to me was why, at that stage, Salisbury hadn't attempted to come round the wicket and bowl into the rough to Brian Lara in particular, who was looking $1 million.
Yeah, he's still an inexperienced bowler, and he doesn't feel comfortable bowling round the wicket. It was such an obvious thing to do, but he couldn't pitch the ball as well when he bowled round the wicket as he did when he bowled over.
So then, 170 behind as day 3 is about to get underway. Let's rejoin Desmond Haynes and Brian Lara, and if you like stroke play, you're in for a treat.
That's gone for 4, no worries about that one. A very loose delivery from Ian Salisbury for the second ball of the day. That's found the gap for Lara. That's going to run away for 4. These boundaries at the border, not the biggest in the world. It's brought a response from Ian Salisbury, namely to vary his angle of attack now to round the wicket. And that should bring the rough of the bowler's footmarks more into play, something for Brian Lara to think about. And perhaps take 4 more. That's a glorious shot from Brian Lara, just beautifully played, all timing and all placement. That's going to race away for 4 runs. Found the gap perfectly, Desi Haynes. Salisbury trying to find the protection of his offside field, trying to use that protection, but Desi Haynes placed the ball perfectly. That's well bowled and gone, but no. Umpire Venkatravagan waiting to get him out. So Desmond Haynes, yes, he has gone. Caught by Jack Russell behind the stumps. A beautiful ball from Ian Salisbury. Plenty of turn there from a good length. It's really the first ball that Ian Salisbury has placed exactly on the right spot. And after some hesitation, to say the least, Desi Haynes on his way.
I think there was a definite edge there. Definitely you could see that. I think Venkat shook his head, saying yes, and then eventually gave the decision. So Desmond Haynes apart. West Indies now 177 for 2.